You said there's some 150 operations that have been conducted since Vietnam. What are some of those that you'd like to highlight that you think have been completely missed in the documentation in the Australian public's eyes?
Well, look, when you think about what's just happening in the Philippines today, it's interesting to reflect on what we've done with the Australian Army and the Australian Defence Force, because the Army operates as part of a joint team, particularly when it operates in Australia's region. We think about what we did in Aceh following the tsunami there in 2004 and 2005. Really significant contribution that helped significantly build relationships again with Indonesia after the nadir of our experience with them in 1999, which was conversely for the Australian Army a dramatic and pinnacle experience, because essentially this was the time when, the first time since Vietnam, we deployed a substantial force anywhere. This time it was commanded by an Australian, Major General Peter Cosgrove. 22 nations contributed. This is a dramatic story. People look back and say, oh, peace, Timor was peaceful, nothing dramatic happened. But that wasn't necessarily going to be the case. It took deft handling by those soldiers commanded by General Cosgrove. And this story is little understood. People don't quite get how significant it was. And it's also overtaken by the events in Iraq and Afghanistan. And of course, those stories themselves have hardly been told at all from an Australian perspective. When you think about what we've seen in the news over the last few years, when we've talked about Afghanistan and Iraq, we've seen British or American TV footage. Why is that? I don't think that's right. We should have had more about Australia. I'm trying to at least cover that gap a little bit and stimulate some further interest in writing about this period.
John Blaxland, thanks very much.
My pleasure.